get on top of all of that financial stuff early, learn as much as you can. And that it's actually really, really important. If you don't have good finances and financial management, you actually don't have a business.
Have some sort of cash flow forecast that you are looking at and updating once a week. How much money is in my bank account? What's coming out this month, this week? What's going in this week? And then what's going to be left over? Money out, money in, what's left?
Skill up as much as possible on the financial side of my business. So that took me a long time. It took me probably a good 10 years into it to realize that that was an area that I needed a lot more business acumen.
I'm a big fan of creating like little habits that build into like, we want to get to the 6-month forecast. We want to get the 12-month forecast. But if you're not doing that, you need to kind of get your mind around the process of just looking at the ins and outs.
The classic is that, especially if you're a solopreneur, you take all your receipts, you put it into a shoebox and you forget about it until tax time. Like that, don't do that. Don't do that. Like at least look at your finances. Somebody said like you should be spending even 20% of your time. That might be a bit excessive, but 20% of your time, but it does illustrate that you should be spending time looking at your money.
And staying on that pulse weekly is going to make a huge difference for you. If you're experiencing these cash flow issues, then of course, looking at it on a monthly basis and then looking at it on a 6-month basis. But really getting into the habit of even looking at that is going to help you to say, oh my gosh, in 4 months, we are going to have a cash flow issue. So what can we do today to prepare for that?
I would recommend that they look at automating some of the low-hanging fruit. Some of the easy tasks that they could automate, I would look at getting those easy wins first. And I would also recommend focusing on one thing at a time.
Do your research on that. Implement something small, implement something easy, and then expand from there.
So let's say they're looking at automating their accounts payable. Focus on that. Then once that's done, move on to the next. Don't start another thing until you finish the first one.
When you are looking for vendors, make sure you're looking at fintech companies that play nice with each other and kind of use integration as a differentiator.
Once you incorporate technology into your company and once you understand the benefits of it and the ease of use, then it's kind of, stepping stones, right? You're going to introduce something bigger, you're going to introduce something more, and you're just going to continue on that path.
But if it saves me an hour, my time is worth more than that. People are undervaluing their time. So I like to just say, how much time is this going to save you? And if it's saving you like an hour to a month, it's probably worth it. I like to take cost almost completely out of the equation when I'm looking at these tools.
Either cash on hand or the ability to attain cash in short notice is huge for any business.
Put aside the right amount of money in your emergency fund so you are not feeling immense pressure to generate income. And for everybody that's different. I think some people are good with a 6 months. Some people want a year of their expenses covered, but really don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself to generate high profits and make sure you have your basics covered.
It can be sometimes scary how much money you need in order to launch a venture. But if you look at the stark reality of that, it ought to give you the information and data that you need in order to make appropriate decisions about what you want to do with the business, whether that be raising more money, whether that be, making different operational decisions or different decisions about how you might execute, or maybe moving on and doing something else.
It's really important to, maybe you don't necessarily need to have all the cash on hand, but having cash available to you and having resources that you could turn to in situations where you need to come up with a lot of cash quickly.
You know what? I would just say go for it. I would say that you're not going to get everything right. Just take the first step towards doing what you want.
Be realistic. It will be hard. There will be bad days.
Make sure you're having a good time. Make sure you're enjoying yourself.
Summon the courage to believe in themselves.
You need to enjoy the journey. You really need to enjoy what you're doing every single day and take measures that allow you to do that.